lot of people don't understand. At that time, it was so cool because all of the artists knew each other.
Yeah.
They came from the same place.
Yeah.
Like, people associate me with different people like the Jacksons and stuff. They don't realize, even Don Cornelius, they all came from Chicago by way of Mississippi and Memphis.
Come on.
The Aretha Franklin, her father was a minister. My
Right.
mom, they were all gospel singers. And they hung together, and they were like a family unit, and some of them made it to big time. And, I can't be a drug addict. That was my thing. I was like, what the hell is this? Ain't nobody tell me this part,
Wait, so what do you mean? You can't be one, like in terms of like...
I cannot. It's very degrading. It's very degrading. And when you get into it, especially something like that, you run out of crack every whatever. However, I'm calling it crack. We actually used to make it ourselves, cook it up or whatever. They never buy already made, that kind of thing. I had, we used to say, this is drug 101, shotgun them would tell me, Yeah, you don't want to die doing this stuff, It was just supposed to be fun.
Supposed to be a party.
But it always you can't.
Yeah, it gets out of hand.
Yeah, and when the out of hand part was what I couldn't live with. I can't live with this. What? No.
Puff is going through his debacle now. He's been exposed as, this crazy that he is, based off of what we've been shown, the attacks on Cassie and things like that.
Gosh, when I saw that attack, I get so mad. I had attacks like that. I remember trying to hide behind a toilet because he busted in the bathroom where I locked the door trying to run from him. People believe those men. And they believe men. And they think, you're always so vulnerable. She right back with him. No, I wasn't. Eddie's out there. Oh, my God. I was terrified. Terrified. He walked in a club once. I'm sitting there with Michael Collier, Bernie Mac. It was his show in Chicago he would have with the band and everything, and he always invite. And he just walks in and slaps me so hard. Pow!
Wow.
Bitch, get up. That was the night I got the gun.
Wow.
I got up. I said, y'all, excuse me. This is my husband, Eddie. And I got up.
What Bernie Mac do? What?
Nobody did a thing.
Wow.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk? Can we talk? R&B.
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn, the R&B ambassador. Listen, I apologize for the interruption, but I need you guys to help us continue to grow this channel. We're doing such a fantastic job growing, bringing you amazing content from some of our favorite R&B artists and contributors. I need you to do this one little thing: like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe is key. Also, hit the notification bell. This will help us to continue to bring more and more fantastic artists to the platform. So with that said, this is a continuing conversation. Can we talk R&B? Now back to the show. What's up? What's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn, the R&B ambassador. Welcome to another episode of the Can We Talk R&B podcast. And I have another legend. We say legend, and there's levels to this. And we have an artist that has contributed so much to R&B music for upwards of 4 decades, and more than that actually. And when I tell you, has written a lot of, or been a part of the soundtrack to a lot of our lives, in some cases our parents' lives, in R&B music. We have a legacy, legendary artist in the building. Let me introduce you guys to the wonderful, immaculate vocalist, singer-songwriter, amazing Miki Howard in the building. How are you?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for making the time.
It's my pleasure.
For sure. Well, Miki, can we talk R&B?
Okay.
That's what we do, right? That's what we do. So, it's just kind of a surreal thing for me because I started this show 2 years. This is our second season, and we've had a lot of amazing, artists on here to have and sit down and have a conversation with, and to have someone like yourself to make the time to come sit down with us is just like, it's crazy because, I think about myself. I remember, back in the 80s, late 80s, listening to your songs and how it just pretty much was, it blanketed everything. And you were compared to amazing artists and singers like the Whitney Houstons of the world, like the really all of the phenomenal vocalists in the game of that time. So everyone, when I on this show, a lot of people are great singers we talk about, but they're tears, and we always look at Miki Howard as one of the elite singer-songwriter vocalists. And I just appreciate you making the time to be here.
That sure is kind.
Yeah, for sure. So introducing you to a new artist, a new audience rather, a new generation. You're originally from Chicago. Can you tell us how'd you get into the business? You come from a gospel background.
Oh my gosh, it's a long story. It's a long life. But I'm from Chicago originally. My family's from Mississippi and Memphis.
Okay.
The journey in music started in Mississippi and Memphis, my father being from Mississippi, and he had 12, 13 brothers and sisters, and they had a group called the Pilgrim Jubilees. That's a gospel group, and they were quite popular in the 50s and 60s. And my mom is from Memphis. She joined a group called the Caravans. They both migrated north to Chicago, where I was born.
Yeah, that's like the Great Migration during that time.
Yeah, but side note, a lot of people don't understand. At that time, it was so cool because all of the artists knew each other.
Yeah,
they came from the same place.
Yeah,
like people associate me with different people like the Jacksons and stuff. They don't realize even Don Cornelius. They all came from Chicago by way of Mississippi and Memphis.
Come on.
The Aretha Franklin, her father was a minister. My mom, they were all gospel singers. And they hung together, and they were like a family unit, and some of them made it to big time. And, some of them had one hit, and things like that. I'm talking all the way from David Ruffin to Lou Rawls and the Soul Stirrers, which was a group from Mississippi.
Absolutely.
My father and those people, they were very good friends. And even Johnny Taylor, Sam Cooke. So in those days, and I was a very small child, it was very common for any one of those fabulous artists to be around and singing. And that is not even to talk about the ones that were in gospel, like the Albertina Walker, James Cleveland.
Yes.
These are very popular gospel artists.
I know all these. I know every name you're dropping. I know exactly who they are.
And Shirley Caesar, they all were just around, and the music that I was allowed to hear was the best.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so I'm from Baton Rouge. I live in New Orleans, but I've been all over the country, and I have a lot of family from the South that migrated to Chicago, that migrated to Detroit back in that time. And again, I'm a church kid myself, so having that pedigree, everybody you're naming, the James Clevelands, all these people, I know, all these sounds I grew up listening to and hearing in the house or hearing at church all the time. So that's amazing that you come from that pedigree. So coming from that legacy, your mom's in the Caravans, James Cleveland wasn't the Caravans his group?
No, James Cleveland played piano for the Caravans and arranged and things like that when he was very young.
Right. Okay. All right. I remember.
And then he brought us to Los Angeles. In fact, my mom and he moved here and opened a church. It was a very small church at the time, Cornerstone Institutional Baptist Church. It was super great. It was so fun.
So transitioning from that to Los Angeles. So you essentially grew up in the music business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know I got a chance to watch your movie and Love Under New Management, and I learned a lot. I'm sitting here like, it's just amazing how so many artists, specifically of that time, these are like the cornerstones of really what R&B music is today, from having legacy artists like yourself. I know there's like Shaka Khan, there's Gerald Levert's in there, and all of these legends that built this up. So coming from, again, Chicago to moving to Los Angeles, you're in the business, well, your family's in the business. What made you say you want to do this like full-fledged and do R&B music instead of gospel?
Well, originally I wanted to be an evangelist.
Come on.
which I still think I am. But I didn't have the church kind of voice. Although people say, you sound like church, I don't. I really don't. And when I get in church, those voices just, they're so amazing. I can't really sing gospel. I did one song that I consider an inspirational song, He Looked Beyond My Faults, and we did it live. And I can't sing gospel because I start crying.
Come on.
I really do. Oh, the Lord love me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I cannot.
You feel it's because like the spirit's moving you, or it's
definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the kind of singing I do, it comes from my inners, my soul, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, all that kind of stuff. People say I'm a sometimey singer because if I don't feel it, it's like it ain't happening. It's just, I don't care. It's and I went through some years of where is it? I don't feel it. But
do you think that's in the writing, or you think that's in like?
It's my life. It's I have to feel like it.
Yeah. So you mean in terms of being just connected to?
Yeah, source.
Your source.
You know what I'm saying? I went through a non-connection period with. I always love God and God loves me, source like that. But you say to yourself, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is wrong. And then you're disconnected.
I understand. Yeah. So going back to the music part of it, I guess from the separation, from the gospel world and getting into the mainstream world. In the film, they talked about, you were introduced to producer, I guess from the group Side Effect, Augie, who was a producer, and that got you your first start as an artist?
Basically, yes. I was 16. I was actually 15, and I met Augie, and I turned 16 like a few weeks later. And I was gonna be the teenage sensation and all these sort of things. And to tie it in with today, it's like trippy because like these guys are getting in trouble for exactly what he did.
Like,
I was 16, he was 30.
Come on.
And I was there with Augie until I was 25.
Wow. Is that something that was the thing for the time, or was that?
It is common practice, and especially then. And once my mother passed away, things like that, and I couldn't sign contracts, and so he became my legal guardian.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so now people are like, it's like that was like people did that.
Yeah.
You're considered old. 18, 19, you're getting old.
No, come on. They said that back then?
Yeah.
What?
You can see this on so many TV shows.
Right, but for them to say you're 18 is old, I don't.
So, you watch the Beverly Hillbillies, and Granny says, Ellie Mae is 17. 14 is the age you should get married. 17, she almost over the hill.
Yeah, that sounds like, and I remember the Beverly Hillbillies show. That's like 1800s, early 1900 talk.
No, it's not.
That's crazy.
No, I think about last year, some of the states just changed. It was not. It was.
My daughter just made 21, and to me, I mean, she's in college. She's a senior in college, but to me, she's still my baby.
This is new.
Wow.
This is new, and you can check it out. This is new. 16, 17, oh, you're ready.
So being 15, 16 years old, you meet Augie, get into the business, you're grown. In the film, you're now on your own at this time.
Definitely.
So at a time like that, you're in a situation where you're likely, you're in a vulnerable situation because you need support somewhere, right? And having a safe place like a producer, a studio to be able to work in, and that's, on one level, you're like, okay, this is survival. On another level, you're like, okay, well, I'm on my own. I'm trying to start a career. How's that, being that was the time, I know things are a lot different now in terms of how that's looked at, but professionally, were you getting things done to be able to?
Oh, honey, yes. I was singing on every record that came out of Los Angeles. Lots of Gap Band records, a lot of the jazz records, At Home Records was who Augie was affiliated with which was, excuse me, Wayne Henderson, which was the Crusaders, and I was in the mix,
Yeah.
And also, I would go to Soul Train and dance and stuff like that. These people knew my mom.
Yeah.
So they would be looking out for me, or they knew my dad, or that's Josie's daughter, and that's how they, So Michelle is here, I never was at a loss for an outlet for my talent.
You always had access.
Yeah.
Because, as a legacy artist and then having just industry connections and then also being an incredible talent.
And young and talented.
Absolutely. So once you got to the point to where it's time for you to start working on your records, I mean, you were singing with Side Effect, and then you became a solo artist. How that happened?
Well, I had made a decision. By now I'm 22 or 23, and I have 2 children. And I'm saying, listen, if I'm not doing my own record by my 25th birthday, I'm cutting everything off. And I did. I turned 25 September 30th. And I stopped answering my phone. I didn't change my number. Augie came over, he's knocking his beat down. I'm like, I didn't answer the door.
Wow.
I borrowed $1,000 from what we call our local pharmacist, and made a demo. I got with some guys from church, which was Andre Cleveland, James Cleveland's adopted son.
Okay.
And Grady Harrell, and we decided what we were going to do with this record and stuff. Well, we started to try to find what label. I wanted to be on Atlantic Records because all my favorite records were on Atlantic, and Aretha was on Atlantic, and I wanted to be like Aretha, Aretha and stuff. So we started to put together all these schemes and stuff to get the tape in the hands of Atlantic Records, and it was an elaborate scheme, but it worked.
What's the scheme?
It was like. There was a wonderful girl that worked in the front office at Atlantic because we'd go up there every day, and she was black, and we'd sit in the office because we knew we needed to talk to this man, Mr. Cooper. I forgot his first name now, but he was the big wheel over there. He could make the decisions, but Atlantic was largely on the West Coast was pop, which is not black.
Right.
Although they had the whole black department was in New York.
Yeah.
So we met Kenny Austin, which was Mo Austin's son, who was over at Warner Brothers, and Kenny was working at Atlantic. They said, "You're not gonna get in on this side. I'm gonna tell you what to do." He said, "And I'll make sure it happens." He gave us the names of everybody in New York to make sure that our tape was in there. He said they have a meeting every Wednesday, and they bring in people that they go through music.
Yeah. So
actually, Kenny orchestrated with us that everybody came in the meeting, had a Mickey Howard tape. And they all said, "Well, I think I like this girl. Yeah." They said, they all had me. They were always like, "Yeah, Mickey Howard."
Yeah.
So consequently, I got sick. Right when they call, and they were changing hands too, from Otis Smith, I think, to Hank Caldwell. And he called, and he knew me from Elektra Records, from Side Effect days. And he's like, finally, because people have been trying to prod me for years to get away from Side Effect and whatever. So, and he said, finally, so we're going to make this record and all this stuff. And I'm in the hospital because I had some sort of really bad infection, probably sepsis, they were saying now. And I thought I was going to die. And whatever. And I had those kids, and I was like, I got to go home. I got to get out of here. I was terribly sick. Hank was the only one that came to the hospital to see me. Not the guys I was working with. Nobody came.
Wow.
And I said, I'm going to go with Hank. And which was Atlantic. And they didn't want Andre and those guys. They were like, producers come a dime a dozen. This is not really the kind of music. Because it was a disco song,
Gotcha, yeah.
It was a dance record we had made. And it was like, yeah, it's an awesome voice, but only, no. We're not doing
They wasn't feeling that.
No. And Whitney was doing great, and they were like, we want something like that,
So is that like what at that time I think about like of my era, the 90s, when you think about how they would put Brandy against Monica, or they would put, Whitney against Mariah in the 90s. But even in the 80s, they were putting you against them as well, right? So what was that?
I never even thought about that. I had made so many records by now.
Yeah.
You know, good records, bad records, featured records on Roy Ayers and Stanley Turrentine and Billy Cobham. You know, I was used to having records that maybe nobody heard, but
Right.
as long as they were great records.
Sure.
So I didn't even think about anything like that. I was just happy to get a record deal and gonna do my best. So that was not an issue. I would never feel that way, especially about Whitney.
Right.
We grew up together.
Yeah.
Her mom and my mom were friends. It was like they didn't want this for us.
Oh, your parents didn't want you
No.
in show business at all.
No, not my mom. Like, she knew I was going to do it, but she didn't want it to start early. She wanted me to have life and to know all of the pitfalls and all of the. Well, I didn't really realize, you know, all this stuff. She
Yeah.
was so scared for me.
And it seems like, I mean, definitely as a woman in that time, I mean, obviously men are taken advantage of as well, but as a woman, especially at that time, it seems like it's a very even more vulnerable place to be in, you know, in the music business. during
Had
those
no
years.
idea. Had no idea. I didn't think I was a girl or a boy or any of that. I just wanted to do great music
Yeah.
and, you know, do this for a life work. So it was happening, and I was happy. I didn't think of any of that.
So once you got with Atlantic, though, okay, you're with them, and you are, you know, which was your first? Was your
Come Share My Love.
That was your first big record.
First record.
That was your first
Solo record, yeah.
First solo record. That I still like that song. I still hear that song regularly. I mean, that's a huge record. Did you write that song?
No, it's written by Lamel Humes.
Okay, and that record was originally written for you.
It was written for Whitney Houston. And it was a little bit too soulful. They were like, you know, they had the major writers, and Lamel was new.
Yeah.
You know, they had the great writers. He was great, but no one heard of him.
But you killed that record. So
Yeah, it was good. I don't mean like I did. They killed that record.
Why you say they? It's your voice on
It
there.
was Lamel is such a good producer.
Yeah.
He really is.
I mean, but that song is the song that put you on the map as a solo artist, and now everybody's like, man, Miki Howard. I mean, I remember that. I remember in that. This is what 87, 88. So I'm saying I remember. I'm a young guy, but I'm not as young as I may look.
Okay.
And I remember that record playing. I remember riding the car with my dad, you know, back around that timeline. And this song, even when I hear it now, when I knew we had you coming on the show, I'm just like going on a deep dive. And it just brings me back to the music that we were playing when, you know, we had to go to the washing mat or whatever, and we're bringing our clothes, and your record's just playing on R&B radio all day. So now you're growing as this celebrity in the game. What was next? So after now you have a top Billboard record, you know, in terms of your experiences during that timeline, what took you to the next level?
Touring.
Right, of course.
Touring. The first thing first tour was with Cameo.
Come on.
So fun, crazy. I was young and crazy, and we had the best band. My band was from Compton, and now they play with everybody. They're super, you know. They were on Michael Jackson's last tour. Oh, they're wonderful. We were young kids. We had fun. We popped firecrackers. I mean, we would go, and I'd take the kids on the road with me. They'd be mad at me. Where's Miki? She's supposed to be at sound check. I was totally in my own world all the time.
Of course.
And I'm at Disney World in Orlando, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'm going to be there. I'll walk in 20 minutes before the gig. I was doing stuff like that. I was having my life.
Who were you working with at that time though? Like obviously you're a big star. Because you grew up in the industry, I guess it's a little, you already felt like a star? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, so it didn't feel like nothing new for you.
No. This was a natural course of things, according to me.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. Then I had a great manager. His name was Don Taylor. He was a Jamaican. He used to work with Bob Marley. Bob tried to kill him.
Wow.
You know, he was so funny. He was young then, too. We thought he was old. He was like, he's turning 50, you know. And we had a ball. It was so fun. Then it was great until I got married. And that's when everything went crazy. Like,
What year was that? Is this to Eric?
Like 89 or 90.
This is to Eric?
No, that was to Eddie.
Okay, to Eddie. To Eddie. Okay, I'm sorry. I said Eric.
Yeah.
I just watched the film.
Yeah.
To Eddie.
Guess I had married 89 or 90. Something
Yeah,
like
something like that. Okay, so Eddie, did he, what was his role in your career? Obviously, I know you guys got married, but.
I know now he was a narcissist, but who knew then?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was just a guy I met that was, do the things narcissists do. Everything you need. And I don't have time to pay attention. I'm working all the time and doing the kids. And,
right.
I thought men were decoration.
Mm.
I didn't know what a man was for.
Wow.
I was raised by lesbians, and basically gay people. And they don't like to talk about that because they're church people, this and that.
Oh, you're saying your mom was a lesbian?
Yeah. She turned into one by the time I was a kid,
Right.
She was over it.
Right.
The damage was done.
Yeah.
So they're doing their thing, whatever. And nobody made a big deal of nothing. No one ever talked to me about men. I never really saw any men.
Wow.
Or the role of men other than at, the gay men.
Yeah.
Which were wonderful to me. They didn't molest me.
Yeah.
They teach me how to be a girl, paint my nails.
Yeah. Was that the reason? I guess, was that why your parents split or weren't together?
They were never together.
Okay.
They were just having an affair. They're gospel people.
Yeah, right. Come
The
on.
church people.
Come on.
Okay.
Tell me,
Okay.
what is that look you
Listen,
give
the
me?
last time I talked about the church people on an interview, everyone was mad at me. I thought everybody knew they were gay. I didn't know.
They say tell the truth, shame the devil.
I don't care about the devil. Shoot. Listen, I don't. It's not that big a deal to me.
Yeah.
Like for me to be, you said, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Keep living. You're going to stop doing everything anyway. Gay, straight, you're going to grow a beard if you're a woman. You're a man, you're going to grow boobs. All of the stuff changes anyway. You don't want to have sex. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Come on.
It's ridiculous. But I have to realize I'm here at this age. Everybody's not.
Yeah.
You got to live through your stuff, So some people, it's gay. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, right.
So, but they were mad at me. Like, and I would see some church people, I don't go to church,
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't speak to me. I'm like, what did I do? And James' daughter was mad, and she got on the internet, and you and this, and all of a sudden I wasn't crap. I'm a piece of, you need to stop drinking, and
Wow.
okay. Like, your father was a father to me before you were born. He was, we were happy to see you born and stuff like that.
Right.
And nobody said that's what was wrong or right.
Right.
He taught me right. Even in his walk of wickedness, they may say. He taught me right.
Yeah.
I still love the Lord.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I learned about Jesus.
That's right.
I wasn't, equating my or your or anyone's sexuality to religion or the truth or whatever. Everybody has their stuff.
Right.
I posted a scripture one day it's the one about who's not going to get into heaven or whatever. And, it talks about, the gays not, whatever. And somebody hit me up. I can't believe you. I said, I wasn't even thinking about you. It said fornication. I was thinking about me. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't thinking about them. I was
Right.
thinking about, that's why I can't be having sex.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow.
I don't like to talk about that stuff because it's very, very, my stomach is growling. It's very, I don't have time for it. Don't argue with me about your sexuality. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I got you. This is crazy. Okay. So, and what I'm saying that I grew up in church. I know exactly what you're referring to. So you see that everywhere. And the fact of the matter is, church is supposed to be, a place where anybody can come, no matter who you are, what you're about.
Light the match to your journey.
That's right.
For God.
That's right.
Wherever you light it at.
Yeah.
Wherever that light starts. It's such a long, big, wide and journey, honey.
Yeah.
If you stop here, you're not going to ever get to the truth.
That's right.
You can't stop with, this so-and-so is gay, and this one is drinking, and that. Who cares? Nobody cares. Whenever that spark of God strikes you, wherever it is. You're going to get on that journey.
That's right. So let's take it back to the music. So you were on this musical journey, you know, you're having all of the success, but you have seemingly a lot of, you're married at this time. You have a lot of, I would say, I'm going to use the words what we'll use now would be predators around in terms of trying to take from you, not, you know, labels or management, not making sure that your business is in order.
Yeah.
And that, from that standpoint, do you have any stories about, you know, some of those timelines or some of the people that you worked with that took advantage of you?
Oh, sweetie. The beginning of the story is all about taking advantage. I was 15.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Makes no
crazy.
sense. 16, 17, da-da-da-da-da. Of course, they was all taking advantage. I'm right now in litigation about the music I did in the 70s
Wow.
that someone else is getting the money for.
And you were writing these songs?
Writing, singing, all of that. It's not fair. It's not right.
No.
So that kind of stuff. And it's because I had to be signed for because I was a minor.
Man.
So, yeah, this stuff has been going on a long time.
Wow.
Though the taking advantage of and the predatization, that's what all the women are afraid of for me. Because I'm like, they would say I'm ditzy and this and that. Well, I really had ADHD when they kept diagnosing as ADD. You know, there's something she doesn't, but I do click.
Did they call it ADHD
No,
back then?
no.
Yeah.
No, I just said ADD was as close as I got.
That's right.
So I really thought I have ADD. So sometimes I ADD.
What's the difference?
Oh.
I think I remember ADD was attention deficit disorder.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They added into ADHD, but ADHD is different because you are just on another plane. You think different. Your hours are different. It's scary to other people. Sometimes, you know, and talented people are often,
Sure.
you know, a click over.
Sure.
But, so people judge you and all that kind of stuff. And I really couldn't help it, the way I am.
Right. So we talk about like all the success that you were having as an artist, and and I know this was a lot of time was the landscape across the board, no matter what type of music you were doing. You know, a lot of people got into drug abuse, and we know that you had that experience.
Yeah. Listen, the whole thing went haywire. You know, the marriage was terrible. This man was beating me up, you know, taking money, making deals behind my back. He negotiated me out of my contract at Atlantic without my permission, more or less. I was pregnant, trying to get away from him, and he's making deals and all this, you know, all crazy stuff. And men, they listen to each other. Remember when I got married, he was the manager.
Right.
He's in charge. They talk to him. It's just insane.
Right.
So that part was difficult to get away from him, and I'm running and hiding and moving houses. I moved from one house to go out on the road and come back. He's found out where I lived and moved in the house and acting crazy, and it was a drag.
There's a scene in the film when you had left and you had hired a bodyguard, and Eddie found you, and he came and he paid the bodyguard
Yes, he did.
to walk away.
He did.
And then he chased you around the hotel. You got in there, and you pulled the gun out.
Yeah, those are like 3 incidences in one because of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living in hotels with these kids, whatever, spending all the money I had, hiring bodyguards, and like he would pay them off. The Crips and the Bloods, I hired both of them too.
Wow.
He didn't pay them. They were like, "We're gonna kill him now, don't you know?" I was like, "Go right ahead." No. In those days, it was craziness. And so then, consequently, you know, he's negotiating me out of my deal. I get signed with another label, which is Giant Records, and they were brand new, and they were nice people. But Cassandra Mills had an agenda that didn't match mine, and I wasn't very cooperative, you know. And then Eddie runs up in there, tears up the office. So people say Miki's blackballed. This is 1992, 93.
So he came in. That's the scene where he beats up the executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're blackballed now. I'm like, what? Seriously.
Wow.
To this day, still people.
Wow.
it got, and people I knew, friends and things like that, we go to, excuse my stomach, we go to events or something, and, we were always in pictures. And oh, excuse me, Miki, can you step out the picture?
Oh, wow.
Because they couldn't sell it. They couldn't sell it if I was in it.
What
it was
was-
deep. It was a very deep thing.
So one thing about in the film specifically, you had a silver lining relationship with Gerald Levert.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah. So what was that? Gerald's, rest in peace to Gerald, one of the, our legendary greats as well. What was that? How that relationship happened? I guess in that you met him before.
I met him in New York when I was recording "Come Share My Love" album.
Okay.
They were up there. They were all things that we do in New York and whatever. He was at the same hotel and we were hanging out and we were just young and we were both Jehovah's Witnesses at the time. And his parents were, so it was like we were just really good kids. And we'd go out and we'd have drinks. He never drank. I gave him his first drink.
Wow.
Like we had wine, we didn't have drinks, we were trying to be grown. I was like older than him. And then we just were really good friends and stuff. And we started dating and things like that. And we had a good relationship. And then Gerald became real popular.
Yeah.
And things seep in as they do. And then I got married, and he was mad I got married. I was like, you want to try to marry me? So then I got divorced, and then my life went crazy. And he was like, what you want to do, I'll help you, whatever. But
there was a scene you were in rehab, and you had gotten arrested. And he came and got you. Did he bailed you out or something like that?
Yeah, it was always bailing me out of stuff. Yeah. He helped take care of me, especially during the. Let's see, the really hit the fan, like 2002. It was like bottom. I tried drugs. It started in '95. I had never tried drugs before. It started after the career was going downhill. And
so it didn't start like
oh
when you was
no,
at your
I
height.
never did any drugs. I still can't. I can't sing and do drugs or nothing.
Yeah.
So I was just doing what everybody, just hanging out with the girls, and shocking them, rock and roll. They come from, she can do whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could try it. I tried it. Tried me.
I hate that.
And it was like, it was great fun, and then it wasn't, and I was really frightened.
How long was that period?
4 years. Yeah.
4 years is the spiral down, or
the spiral down was like, it was like 10. Took like 10 years to hit rock bottom.
I heard you say in the interview, you said, when a person is, addicted to drugs, or they need someone with tough love. Can you talk about that? How?
Oh yeah, Miss Earlene was one of my most avid. She was Aretha Franklin's sister-in-law. Aretha's brother was one of the people in my life as a young teenager. I used to babysit for them and stuff like that. So Earlene was like trying to help me get on my feet, and I'll manage you, whatever. And she called me. She said, "I heard you out here doing crack." I said, "What?" You out there? I was like, no. She's, let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. You want to die? Keep on doing that shit. You want to die? I was like, I'm going to die? Yes. Oh, Lord. I was scared. It scared me so bad. And I went to several rehabs. I started to go, like somebody got it. I went to the library, took my kids. And those days we didn't really have Google. And we looked up, cocaine and the different, what it's doing and stuff. And the book said, go to your doctor and tell your doctor what's happening. I did. It's like, you got to go to rehab, but they didn't want to put me inside. I was like lightweight according to them, like you're functioning, and I really wasn't. So I kept going to different ones, different groups, and I was like, I'm not like this.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you getting high? Most of the time, the women said, well, my husband and my boyfriend and my baby daddy. And I was like, no, that's not. I was partying. So when it gets to me, I was partying, and then I wasn't. And it's not good. I cannot. I was like, God sees me, he's gonna kill me. I felt like the devil was laughing at me. I don't know. I just was like, absolutely no.
And how were you able to? But you say you were functioning. You knew you were suffering, but how you were still able to perform and still able to
Well, by now the performances are down to track dates.
Sure.
They used to call us track stars.
Mm-hmm.
5,000, 10, 10 at the most.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just, they knew I had kids and
Yeah.
stuff. So they would, sometimes they would starve me out. Nothing. And then I got this, and they probably made 50,000, 30,000. Right. I got this $5,000 a day for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get the money that can pay my rent, get the
Right.
kids school clothes, food.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and then it going, like that. So it was a very fun time, though.
So during that time, I mean, obviously you had ups and downs, but you enjoyed the process.
Yes, I did. I didn't know I did, but I did. Mm-hmm. I smiled a lot. I laughed a lot. Excuse me. I was with my children a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Take them to school, pick them up, cuss out the neighbors, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Cook meals every single day. My son learned to cook. He's a chef right now, Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun until it wasn't fun.
Right.
I can't be a drug addict.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing. I was like, what the hell is this? Ain't nobody tell me this part,
Wait, so what do you mean you can't be one? Like in terms of like...
I cannot. It's very degrading. It's very degrading. And when you get into it, especially something like that, you run out of crack whatever. However, I'm calling it crack. We actually used to make it ourselves, cook it up or whatever. They never buy already made, that kind of thing. I had, we used to say this is drug 101, shotgun them would tell me, yeah, you don't want to die doing this stuff. It was just supposed to be fun.
Supposed to be a party.
But it always you can't.
Yeah, it gets out of hand.
Yeah, and when the out of hand part was what I couldn't live with. I can't live with this. What? No. And
so dealing with, I guess, dealing with drug abuse, you're dealing with physical abuse in these relationships. One thing, at least in the film, and you can enlighten this, Gerald Levert was like the silver lining.
He was a constant.
Yeah. And
always, even when we were together as romantic partners, I just would call him. I could lean on, and he could do that with me as well.
But where I'm from, we would call you a G in a lot of ways. And what I mean by that is you stood up for yourself. It seems like, you dealt with abuse from Eddie, but you weren't just like a rollover, at least from what I'm interpreting.
I wish I would roll over. I wish. Yeah,
like like you pulled the gun out and you
I was
actually
gonna kill
shot
Eddie.
that joke.
And I found out, when you are in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Hate to say this. It's either you or them.
Why you hate to say it?
I hate to say it because it's so hard. You gotta stand up. They're usually cowards, and you gotta be willing to take that neck off.
Yeah.
And let it go.
That fool kept coming though.
Yeah, he did. He was about to get killed. But he understood it. At the end of the day, when that red dot hit his behind, he understood it. And then he waited. God sent him to jail for 10 years. And he came back. And in those 10, I grew. And strength is like, I'm a child. Any threat is a threat.
Yeah.
And you must take it out.
Come on.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm talking about to my kids in my life. It's a threat. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And you must eliminate the problem. Unless you're willing to die for it. Die, me or you. And you got to know that in your life. You can't, and you got to let another person know it. When they're going to that level, it's like, okay, and then they'll go, well, we'll do it too. Do it first.
Yeah.
You come here with that, they're going to take you out of here in a bag.
Wow.
It's not a problem. And I had to grow to that because of my moral and religious, whatever background. They don't teach you that.
No, I appreciate that strength because, again, I have a daughter, and I think about a lot of young women in this era who silently deal with things like that. Obviously right now there's the, Puff is going through his debacle now. He's been exposed as, this crazy that he is, based off of what we've been shown, the attacks on Cassie and things like that.
Gosh, when I saw that attack, I get so mad. I had attacks like that. I remember trying to hide behind a toilet because he busted in the bathroom where I locked the door trying to run from him.
Wow.
He hung me in over a balcony at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Chicago once.
Wow.
That was all in the same day.
Wow.
And I'd be doing shows, thank you, and what have you. And when I saw that with Cassie, it just, oh, man. Oh, you don't know how that feels.
Yeah.
It's terrorizing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Until, you take a nice church girl and she says, I'm going to kill you. That's it. And it changes you. It changes your DNA. It changes your brain. It changes you. And that was the reason I actually started to try drugs. It was after all of this.
Gotcha.
I can't even tell you some of the things that he did. And he did lots of things just to hurt me.
Just out of spite, just to
and
feel
it
powerful.
worked. People believe those men. And they believe men. And they think, you're always so vulnerable. She right back with him. No, I wasn't.
Yes, yeah. I mean, in the film, it seems like you left right away.
Right away. Never came back. Never came back. But he always would do something. Move into my house when I'm gone. Show up at a performance. Make it impossible to go on stage. Eddie's out there. Oh, my God. I was terrified. Terrified. He walked in a club once. I'm sitting there with Michael Collier, Bernie Mac. It was his show in Chicago he would have with the band and everything, and he always invite. And he just walks in and slaps me so hard. Pow!
Wow.
Bitch, get up. That was the night I got the gun.
Wow.
I got up. I said, y'all, excuse me. This is my husband, Eddie. And I got up.
What Bernie Mac do? What?
Nobody did a thing.
Wow.
They were like, it was a few comedians. And I walked out and got in the car. And all the way he's driving, he's poking me in my face. Right here. Poking me in my face. And all of a sudden, hot blood just ran down my face. And I remember, I was like, what is that? It was hot blood. He had poked me with his fingernails, poked his...
Oh, with a fingernail.
And his blood running down my face. And I was just thinking, when I get to this house... But he's driving so fast, the police pulled him over. And he told the police he was taking me to the hospital. It's it's emergency, this and that. And I'm back in the car going, and he handed the officer a $100 bill.
Wow.
And the officer drove us to the exit, escorted us to the hospital. We get to the parking lot. He's like, okay, I got it. He said, bitch, get in the car and drive. When he drove off, he said, you drive. Because he's all upset, I said, oh, I'm the one to drive. First, I drove to the police station. Oh, Miki. Oh, now you know. Oh, I said, they never do anything. I said, okay, I'm gonna just go home. Just take me home. I'm driving. I get to the house. I stopped the car in the middle of the street. I jumped out the car and ran in the house because I hid the gun a different place every day. He actually had given me the gun.
Wow.
So I hid it somewhere different. So I got in that house and I got that gun and he came in. I was like, yeah. He started running through the house. He jumped in the bed with my kids, ran in their bedroom.
Wow.
And I just yelled, get out the bed. Brandon and Nicholas, get out the bed, get out the bed. And they jumped up. They were like, I was like, walk to me. And he climbed up, jumped out the window behind their bed.
Wow.
That was our last interaction. And I'm sure by that time he knew I was serious.
Yeah, you weren't playing with him.
The thing is, this Diddy stuff, with Cassie, and they never stopped. He eventually got out of jail, married again, went to jail for the same thing, beating their wife, almost killed this woman.
Wow.
Almost killed her. They never stop. Pedophilia doesn't stop. I don't know I never met Diddy. Mm-hmm. I've never been to a Diddy party. Mm-hmm. I was totally blackballed during this time. Mm-hmm. During that time, the late 90s, all the way through 2016, when they were going to make the movie. I had retired more or less. I moved to New Jersey. I moved to Jersey city once, and then I moved to Newark. And I had a wonderful, wonderful loft. I was happy. I was like, loft was $1,700 a month. I didn't have a car. I had enough. I get enough money to deal with this. My children are grown. The industry,
Wow.
and all of a sudden, because I keep kids all the time. Now, that's another thing. When all your friends are entertainers, they all have kids, And so my kids were home. I was home, and you like to keep your entertainer kid family together because they're raised different.
Sure.
Things they see and stuff. You should understand is they're more mature, and they're more free, and they're a little spoiled.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But I used to keep them all the time. And one of the kids I used to keep called. Not keep, they were over.
Yeah.
And he called and he said, Mama, I want to talk to you. I was like, what? Yeah, they want to make a movie about you. This. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. I told him they should. I was like, okay. And we got on the phone and then negotiated.
And they made it happen.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What was your relationship with Sylvia Rome?
I love Sylvia Rome. She's an incredibly strong woman, a smart woman, hard-working woman. She was so passionate and dedicated to her job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always worry about her on a personal level. So I'm always there.
Yeah.
We're always friends because she did her job and she did it with love and she taught me things. And today I work on those records because of the work that we did together. I didn't pick those songs. I'm a jazz singer. She picked those songs.
Nice.
I agreed to the songs. We would sit for however long it took and listen to song after song after song. And she could hear something in me that I wanted to deliver. And she made me feel like the best singer in the world.
Yeah.
I love Sylvia. And when people are working with Sylvia, like now she has the artist Tyler.
Yeah.
And
she has so many, I've been hearing her name
for years.
My whole life, essentially.
Yeah. She's amazing at what she does. She really is. She's a genius.
Yeah.
But I watch what she does, and so with Tyler, I'm like, yeah, see, look, she's got the best.
Yeah.
People say, oh, Tyler's cocky. I know why.
Yeah.
She has the best.
Man.
Sylvia makes you have the best of everything. The best musicians, the best tracks, the best wardrobe, and especially now, she's been way elevated since, we worked together. And I'm like, yeah, and she's a baby, Tyler's a baby. I'm like, I get it. It's
she's
so cute.
Are you listening to any artists now, like any of the new generation artists?
I like a lot of people. Sometimes we do that song "Water" in my show.
Oh, really?
It's such a good song. Anybody
It
can
is a
sing.
good. Yeah.
That's the key.
Nice.
Picking those kind of songs. I listen to a lot of people. It's crazy. It's so much out there. I love Miguel.
Oh yeah.
I love Jeremiah.
Yeah.
I love. I like Drake's music. It's more sophisticated than Kendrick to me. Who I understand it, but I when I hear Drake, I feel like I'm driving in a Rolls Royce going up to the mountains to my house.
Yeah.
It's very sophisticated to me.
Yeah.
And I like it, and I never know it's him. That other kid, something Magic or Music or.
Magic. I'm not sure.
No, one time he made his face look like he was beat up.
Oh, are you friend? The
Weeknd.
Yeah.
I like his records.
Yeah.
But when he performs live, I'm like, just make records, honey. I like his records.
So he's not really like a real vocalist.
No, he's not live. He's a production. Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah.
Excellence is excellence. I don't care. He
tries to.
He's not a singer.
Yeah, big shout out to Weeknd.
He's not
as an artist.
Weeknd.
Yeah, but see, they try to put him in the Michael Jackson bag, right?
Don't say that.
That's what they try to do.
Don't say that.
I don't.
Don't say that. That hurt my feelings.
Come on.
Oh my God.
They try to put him
Chris
there.
Brown.
For sure.
That is immaculate talent.
Oh yeah.
And it's so wasted.
I got a chance to see Chris
wasted.
a couple months ago at his show on this tour of this, and it's definitely up there with one of the best shows I've ever seen.
That's one of the greats.
Yeah.
Chris Brown is one of the greats, I'm talking about he should be graduating and to Fred Astaire type great.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's in the Michael Jackson, but if they don't facilitate his talent.
You were friends with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like no, the Jackson people.
Okay.
You know, I don't talk about them. You know, having a day because I was one of the young people that Mr. Jackson signed and all those things like that, and I was part of that family. And again, like I tell you, they came from Mississippi and Memphis and all of that with my mom and them. They all know them. And they felt obligated to look after me.
Gotcha.
And in the days that I went through bullshit, I never had to.
Yeah.
I didn't even think to call them. You know, but the kids, they always had the kids. They would come like, they don't have to worry about nothing. You know?
Oh, wow.
But yeah, they were wonderful people.
Is that where, like, so your son B. Howard, is that where he got his, because he, to me, reminds me, looks like all of the kids. I think
we all may have DNA. I'm telling you, we came from the same place.
Yeah.
And those people looked after me.
I remember a few years ago on TMZ, there was I met him back in like 2014 or 15 here in LA. Really cool guy. I was playing him some records that I had put out at the time, and he just great spirit, like real humble energy, but just real passionate about the music. And I remember him enjoying the song I was playing him, and I was sitting in the car looking at this dude like. This dude looks. He looks like one of the Jackson kids. Like I can't think of it. J5 and
then 3T.
3T. Yeah,
I love those babies. I remember when they were born.
Yeah, he looks like them to me.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. These people were good people to me, and I've been around them most of my life, and I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell is going on with these people, the kids and all that. But
as a musician, I mean, I know as an artist, his music sounds like Michael Jackson's
I
music.
know he's been heavily influenced.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not the only one.
Of course.
But he's the only one that looks like it.
Right.
So they handle this and handle that with it and whatever. I would never. It's not an easy thing to be a Jackson.
Right.
You know, they're killing Jacksons.
Come on.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, Tito just passed away recently.
Passed away, and those kids that are Michael's kids, and his mother, Mrs. Catherine Jackson, is a pillar of strength.
I can
and
imagine.
She's smart. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can imagine for sure.
So, and she's lost a lot. Her anchors, her husband, her child, and her baby.
Yeah.
So, and she's 91.
Wow.
You don't know what that encompasses.
Are you in contact with her at all?
Oh, no, I don't miss the people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would never. I mean, it's another part of life right now.
Yeah.
You know, the kids are.
Sure.
And they always have been. They love them. We all, that's their thing. But no.
Gotcha. So, in terms of, you mentioned touring. How are you still on the road doing a lot of dates, or? I
do some dates. I like to do more dates. I like to make more money. They still don't pay me enough.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. Once you get into that cycle, it was very hard to get out of the track cycle, the $5,000, the $8,000. They still call me with this. And then, I had to manage myself for quite a while, and you have to hear what they say.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickey Ham was only worth $10,000. And that's to you. That's your business. I'm not coming nowhere. You should have never let me eat top ramen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
so, with all of these accomplishments and all of these experiences in the business, what lessons would you advise to the new generation of artists that are coming out now?
Hey, man, I think it's going to be an amazing time because before Diddy and Jay-Z had the music locked up, no one could get through because they were producing artists and doing whatever it takes to get them on the radio scene, and you couldn't break through. You just couldn't. And if you look back, I thought it was just me. I'm like, oh, I'm so blackballed. It was everybody. It was everybody. You didn't have an Angela Winbush record. You didn't have a Shirley Murdoch record, a Regina Bell record, Melissa Morgan record. Shaka Khan couldn't squeeze through. She was living over the records that she did before.
Yeah.
But her new records, she couldn't get them on the radio
Yeah.
and all of this stuff. Nothing.
I was happy to see her on Tiny Desk recently.
Oh, wasn't that good?
Yeah, really good.
She was terrific.
Yeah. I got a chance to see her when I went to Prince's musicology tour 20 years ago. And Shaka came out. I've actually seen her one other time since then, but I remember that was my first time seeing her. And Prince brought her out. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Shaka Khan, you know?
She is larger than life, even just to be around in general. And she has wonderful things to teach you.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she's a great person, a great singer, an interesting person.
Yeah. I just think about, artists like yourself. These are the stories that this generation doesn't really hear. Or we don't.
Yeah, because we were locked out. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't understand the depth of this. Now you're going to see, just pay attention. All of these wonderful artists. We couldn't hear India Ari. We couldn't hear.
Man.
There's some great artists out here.
For sure. I mean, she seems, obviously she seems to be wonderful.
Everybody's never satisfied.
Yeah. I follow her on Instagram, so I see her posting different things, but I'm a big India Ari fan. When she came out early 2000s, she had the game on lock for a few years. And we saw how amazing of a vocalist, how amazing of a guitar player and songwriter that she is. And then all of a sudden, you just don't see her anymore.
Because you keep knocking your head against the brick wall. She was sad. All of us were sad. Tweet. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it just, why is this happening? Then we were locked out. And now, there's some great artists coming out. Oh, follow me on Instagram, Miki, because I post them all the time. I think that's what social media is for.
Sure.
And I don't care what anybody, because first they started it. People started hitting me in my DM. And I was like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. So I talk to people. I like it. And
yeah, like in your era, your fans had no way to talk to you.
No, we had every Wednesday we sit down and we call every radio station and we sit down with a pile of photos. And we autograph to our fans and mail it out. We had lunch and stuff with radio programmers and things like that. We were physical.
Yeah. And
that's why I loved to answer my fans.
Yeah.
How we got in touch. I do it because I was trained that way. You go all the way back to real Hollywood, the Joan Crawfords of the world and people like that. You answer your fans.
That's right.
Because when nobody else is checking for you, they will.
That's right. Well, this show is a love letter to the fans. Like, it's just... Fans have questions. Fans want to see our favorite artists. And I don't specifically just try to get whoever's the hottest artist at the moment, because R&B to me is evergreen. So I want to be able to have a conversation. These songs, we're still playing these songs. If I go wherever, I'm still hearing Share My Love. I'm still hearing, these records. And I'm like, this artist still has something to say. So I want to talk to these people, the songwriter, the artist themselves, the producer, and in a lot of cases, the music executive, just so the fans can have a window to, just to kind of see what's been going on throughout that time. And it's very important that we have these type of conversations.
I think so.
So what's next for you?
I don't know. I'm really trying to delve into film. I wrote a movie, and I like it. I'm really pushing to get it done. Wonderful new artist. The movie's got so much music. New music, unheard, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to make that happen. Nice. Working with my kids, we're doing a show, Sunday dinner with the Howards, because every Sunday or whenever we get together, they always this should be you should do it. Why don't you, Mom? You should do a podcast. And all the kids, I'm like, okay, because it would help the other children, because that's what I do.
Absolutely,
that is what I do. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
and these young people and other people say, you shouldn't let them over your house again. I can't just drop them back out in the world and they haven't, got any training.
Yeah.
Everyone's being trained to get money.
Yeah.
Thinking it makes you happy. It don't. It make you need more money.
Come on.
Yes, I had Rolls Royces, three of them. I had 3 Rolls Royces. You need to fix them and repair them.
Yeah.
You need to take care of them. And that shit is not cheap.
At all. It's
very expensive. You want the big house? I just moved out of a 4-bedroom house into a 2-bedroom apartment. I got this house by the beach. I always wanted to live. I got my.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted all my back
Yeah.
that I had ever lost. You know, with the this house wore me out.
Wow.
I'm a single woman now. I
Yeah.
don't have kids.
Yeah.
My kids are grown.
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
33.
Yeah.
My granddaughter's 20,
Come on.
turning 21. I don't have kids. They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
I have one grandson that I'm like his favorite. And it's always just he and I. And people think he's my favorite. No, I'm his favorite.
Yeah.
He always wants to come.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just me and him. And I had this 4-bedroom house, 4 beds, 4 baths, everything. The whole 9 yards, the water bill, my gas bills,
Yeah.
like $1,100 a month. I'm like, what in the It's just me.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The kids coming over for holidays, maybe.
Maybe. And I'm like, please spend the night.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ma, you know, this is too far. I don't want to come back. And my last light bill was $900 and something.
Come on.
Don't want no house.
It's just you in the house.
It's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. So I got a dog. I had this big ass, what is he? Poodle.
Oh, like a
standard poodle.
Oh, they pretty
He's
tall.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
You know why they call them poodles?
Why?
Because they leave little puddles everywhere. Every time I say, oh, my bad. I'm like,
Come on.
he just.
He ain't trained.
No, that's. Everything started to smell like pee. So he found a good spot where I couldn't tell, which was a vent in the floor.
Oh, wow. How old is he now?
2.
He's still doing that?
I don't know. He's a visiting.
No.
So all I could smell is pee wafting through the house. I'm like, where did you pee? Where did you pee? So I finally found it, sticky all around the
Oh, my God.
I can't do the house. I don't want a house. So I got this apartment. I didn't see it doing it online because, you know, I'm trying to be modern with the kids doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I went, like, $5,000, okay? 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was expecting a room at least.
Yeah.
What? The living room is no living room. None of my furniture fits. Because it's all huge
Yeah,
furniture
big
and these
furniture,
little
yeah.
bitty rooms.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to be ungrateful.
Yeah.
God bless me. I'm going to, oh my God. I was like, I can't do it. I
I
had
mean,
bruises.
it's Los Angeles, too.
Yeah, so then I'm like in the process right now moving again.
Mm.
You know, so like, this is ridiculous. Now but I'm getting my feet in terms of being a mature single woman
Yeah.
that doesn't need to spend all my money paying rent and bills or house mortgage and taxes. And
Yeah.
one day the tree was molting. It was $500. I don't want to spend $500 on a tree. I'd rather buy a shoe or you know, or a ticket to somewhere that I want to go. I want to go to Rome, stay for a month, you know, because now my dates are far and in between.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the blackball thing damaged,
It damaged your...
really damaged my reputation.
yeah.
And things I did. And I cuss people out a lot because you get really angry and you get to a performance and they don't have a mic or, you know, they treat you poorly.
There was a point where you lost your voice.
I did.
And you thought God had taken it from you.
Yes. I lost my voice. I just could not sing. Because I sing from a pure place.
Yeah.
And I can't be, I can't ever be drunk. People say she was high. No, I wasn't. I can't. If it didn't come off, it wasn't deliverable. Mm-hmm. And often singing on really bad mics. Like somebody give me a mic like this to do a show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You need the omnidirectional.
I need them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of these things, and they don't supply you. You go to the hotel, and it's like, sweetie, I can't stay here. There's no ceiling. You know, it's like, why would you do something like that? Mm-hmm. And then on the mic, they get up and say, the legendary. I ain't a legend at your house.
Nah.
Because you treated me bad, you know. Stuff like that. I had to go through that, and I didn't want to sing.
Yeah.
I don't want to sing. I didn't want to.
But when did you find your voice back?
I don't know. One day. I just know it appeared, and I
What was
did
that timeline though? Like
a long time, a long time. It would almost come, and then almost. And I was singing with Roy Ayers maybe 5 years ago in Detroit, and I didn't know because I never know what, and he didn't know I was there or whatever. I was on the show, whatever, and I was there to sing with him, not as Miki Howard, just the songs that I have done with him. And he's like 80 something now, and he turns around in the middle of the show, and he says, "Where have you been?" I was like, "I'm back for real." And other people said that.
wow.
Like other, the older ones.
Yeah.
Like, and said, "Oh, you made it back." And so then I figured, okay, I must be okay. So then I started to request my microphone and things like that be proper. And it's really hard to find an engineer.
Oh yeah.
Because they're very expensive.
Tell me about it.
They want basically your whole check. And I'm working there. So now it's like, it's fun again.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people who really love your music and want to see you perform. I know you feel that whenever you do the shows. I know when I mentioned that I was going to have you on the show to a few select people, I try to keep it private, but to a few select people, I was excited. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, she's a legend," So it's always good to have, again, someone with so many great stories, and so much education really for the new generation of artists.
I wish someone had told me. They talking about the freak off and stuff. They used to call them orgies.
Yeah. I think, seemed to me like whatever he was having, maybe more than an orgy.
Yeah,
like,
something else going on with that. I don't know. I ain't never heard of that. I never been to it. I never even seen. I met Puffy in passing once. But like I said, during those times, it was like, your name is not on the list.
Wow.
Well, it is at home. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go, I'm just go sit down somewhere.
It is on this lease. I'm going.
Okay, I'm going over there.
Yeah. Come on.
Anybody want to come have cocktails with me? Like that. I never did. I didn't know anything about that. I went to the offices once because I had one of the girls that stayed with me, kids, Carmen. She wrote a song or something. They gave her a check for $30,000. She's staying with me like for months, and I'm like, feeding everything. We're eating $5 spaghetti the whole nine. We had fun though.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was, but she's like, I have a check, but I can't cash it. And I keep calling them and asking them, and I'm like, well, let me see. It has the wrong name. And so it's like, well, all you have to do is call accounting. But she's been calling whoever wrote it, or do however you do. You just call accounting and tell them your check has got the wrong name, and you're gonna come change it. I called up there. I said, yes. And blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes, we'll be right there tomorrow morning. We took a train and a cab.
Of course.
To Diddy's office. He dressed up like, Miki Howard is here. Miki Howard is here. They were standing through the office. I could hear it. And I said, we going to the accounting. We're here to change the check for Carmen. That was it.
They made it right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They changed her $30,000 check, and she got it together.
Yeah.
That's all I ever knew. The kids would go down there to Diddy house or Daddy house, whatever they used to call it, the studio.
Yeah, Daddy.
They never had a problem. They never came back with a problem, and nobody said they was drugged. Nobody else like.
Yeah.
I don't know what they doing.
No, absolutely.
I know.
It's so jarring though, because I've had so many conversations, and I know so many people who's worked with him directly as a producer, or worked with him with some of the artists or artists that were signed to the label, and I don't really hear any of these stories, or haven't heard any of these stories from them specifically. But it seems like he was living two different lives. Like he lived one life with.
I can only speak for the evidence.
Right.
The evidence is they locked out the traditional artist.
Yeah.
They locked all the artists out by taking over the business, which sounded to them like, yes, and yeah. I think Beyonce's amazing.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me from 97 to 24 we ain't had nothing?
Come on.
Compare? Nothing. She ain't even started nothing. Who could come back and be like it?
Come on.
That's not right.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that picture.
That's right.
When you have all of these, now you look on the other side of the picture, on the white side, you can add from Celine Dion to Adele.
To Taylor Swift.
I mean, it's been several.
Yeah.
They shut your black music out. They shut us out of our own shit and made it all hip hop. It's like, and I was the first R&B hip hop artist. Till You Come Back to Me is hip hop.
Yeah.
Ain't Nothing in the World, number one, hip hop. What is that? Ain't Nobody Like You.
Yeah.
Hip hop.
A lot of your music, well, you mentioned in another interview, I think it was on Sway in the Morning, you mentioned that you had a relationship with Eazy-E and he taught you how to lease out the licensing of your songs.
That's how I made it all the way till 2002.
So explain that process.
They want them to put out a record. You don't give them the masters. You give them something like the master, a copy of it, and they can do it for so many years, and then it reverts back to you. You know, like all those records I did during the downtime when, you know, I was hitting and missing, but they belong to me, and I can put them out anytime I want.
That's fantastic. Have you been, I guess, approached by like a lot of artists today, or their masters or their publishing is being offered to be sold? Have you been approached?
I wish I would. They can have it.
Yeah.
I lived this long without it.
Yeah.
Give me some millions.
Yeah.
And I know what to do. I enjoy my life on a regular, you know, like.
But you still own those masters.
No, I own the ones that I did without, you know.
The ones that you did have, I got you.
Like 99 on down.
Okay, got you. Man, you have so many stories, and I can talk to you all day.
I know.
But
I appreciate you.
It's amazing, and I appreciate you for coming and making the time to talk to us. I hope some of the things that you share with us can really safeguard some of the new artists, or just some, even if they aren't artists, just young women understanding, young men as well, understanding how to protect themselves in those, you know, in these environments, because you know there are a lot of creeps out here.
Yeah, they're in every business.
But
this is an extraordinary case, what's happening. And I want to say to Jaguar, right, we love you, we appreciate you, we understand what's happening with you. And I want everybody to give her some grace. Her son died right in her face.
Oh, my gosh.
She lost her career behind a lot of this.
Yeah.
And that's so hard.
Yeah.
Pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I snapped. I did drugs. Do you know what I mean? And whatever she saw, whatever she went through, she has the right to talk about her experience. Do you know? I don't know.
Right.
I never met these people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And something has been going on.
Yeah, she's been going hard for years, talking about
Several
all this
people
stuff.
have.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, we used to call them orgies. I don't know what they doing with all that. And you never had no baby oil. I know. I ain't opposed to a little oil, you know.
Come on.
But I just don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I just see a woman that I know is talented.
Yeah.
Good writer, good singer, career cut short. Don't know why. Her son died in front of her. I don't, you know, and anybody, you know, there's a weird little balance going on there. Give her some grace and some prayers.
Yeah.
You know, and Jay-Z and Beyonce, they don't need to say nothing. Don't say nothing. Why are you saying something?
Yeah, I think I saw something this morning. Pierce Morgan had to recant.
I saw all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am mortified.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this orchestrated? Is this a joke? Literally, I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
Is this really happening? Come on, y'all. Seriously?
This is crazy. I'm just going to sit back and watch because I don't really know what to, you know, who did what to say what.
I'm mortified. The only good thing I see happening is music is being played again. All of a sudden. Check it out.
Whose music?
Everybody's. All kind of people I never heard of. Really good singers, really good musicians, all over Instagram, all over TikTok, everywhere. It's like, whoa. It's amazing.
Man.
We were locked out of our own stuff. That's an issue.
Well, having access, social media has given the fans access, direct access to the artists. So now it's easier to, go direct to consumer versus having to worry about going through these particular channels that's being controlled.
Okay. We could always go direct to consumer.
Well, of course.
That is how MC Hammer sold 1 million records without a label. That's how the rappers have been selling.
No, for sure.
They opened their trunk and they sold CDs.
For sure.
And now you can do the little thing, whatever. Access didn't make it. Being access is still 10, 20, 100 people a day, whatever. When you had a real label with real people working your music and they were out there into the stations and everything, it's not like you sitting there every day. I'm on there all the time because I don't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't do what a team of 200 can do.
That's right.
And they're coming into these places, they're paid. Even your algorithm is paid for.
Yeah, for sure.
Or not.
I think when I'm saying direct to consumer, I'm saying like the audience can directly contact you directly. Like they can DM you, they talk to you right there on the phone. You can contact them.
I like that.
Yeah, so that part.
But it doesn't stop. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. These stations and stuff are serious. It's still real. All of this other stuff is extra.
Yeah.
But what's really on the radio, when you pop in your on your car or whatever, your Sirius SM, all of that stuff, it still comes from a certain conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
These ones or these ones or these ones. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else we're doing is extra. We just picking up it's cool.
Man.
It's cool, but we deserve a whole break. A whole one.
Yeah, for sure.
A whole break where your music is played on stations and in elevators and.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Any plans on releasing any more music?
I just did a new album called Mija. It's jazz. Thought people don't be liking jazz or not.
Come on.
I'm like, when you don't have a direct one for me, I'm a canvas. If somebody, when a label or producers or somebody gives me a song and stuff like that, I want to paint for you. Mm-hmm. But when I'm painting for myself, it's a little bit, I may paint with gray and you may not like gray.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You may want me to paint with reds.
Yeah.
Well, when you do pay me to paint with red, I'll paint with red.
Yeah. I always hear you, you acknowledge people like Billie Holiday, artists like that as your favorite, some of your greatest inspirations.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think she'd be really proud of me today, Billie would.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we want you to pick up where we leave off. We want you to take the baton.
Yeah. And
move it forward. We want you to have class and whole class and be all you can be.
Absolutely.
In a good way and not be greedy.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy because there's nothing in it except more greed. You want more and more. And it costs more and more. Everything. Get to a place in your life where you feel happy and you can sustain and do what you want to do. Some people want to travel and some people want to skydive and some people want to swim in the oceans and see all the oceans. And some people want to be the woman on the block that sells lemonade. Whatever makes you happy is what you're supposed to be doing. Not killing yourself to pay a mortgage for a house that's probably going to fall shortly because of the weather and the earthquakes and all of that. Enjoy your life and help others, help children.
Well, I'm happy that you joined us today on the Can We Talk R&B podcast. That you take the time out, and this is a continued conversation. We have the legendary Miki Howard in the building. God bless you guys.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk? Can we talk?